Hello all, this is Alys, and there's something that you guys probably know if you have been following this channel for a while. But if you don't, I think it is as a good way to start this video as any. I opened my Steam account on February 14th, 2020. Yes, on Valentine's Day I went and opened my account and bought Pathologic Classic HD. And Tori and the Blind Forest, but that is secondary to the purpose of this cold open. And thus began one of the most complicated relationships I've ever had with a piece of media. And by complicated, I actually mean I have discovered I have a higher tolerance for the pain of the psychological kind than what I thought thanks to this game. This being said, this relationship has continued with me finally playing Pathologic 3 Quarantine, and you guys are probably wondering if I liked it, right? Well, we have a whole video to discover that. So, without further ado, Alys has played Pathologic 3 Quarantine and has things to say about it. First thing, you can kick trash cans to get out of depression, 9 out of 10. I only take 1 point because I cannot set them on fire. But now, let's get a little more serious, and I'm going to elaborate on this later. But I fucking love that we get Danko at his fucking limit at the beginning of the story. Or should I say the end, actually? Because everything begins after day 12. We're no longer at the town. We're at the capital. We're at Thanatica. And holy moly, it is so pretty. I love the stained glass. And wait, is that Aglaya? Oh shit. Okay, so no fucking idea of what has happened, but now Day 8 is here, and I'm trying to do the thing we do in Day 2 in Classic, like get the fuck out of the town, and what the fuck is that? Is that the Shabnak? What in the playable teaser for Silent Hills is this?
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
But we travel back in time too before everything goes to shit, and may I say that I love Platon and Serafima, and that these two are so very married and taking care of Danko? Yes, I may. This is my video after all. Also, I am bad with weapons. This will prove important for later. Well, so now we have to be interrogated by, as someone on Twitter so succinctly put, White Kim Kitsuragi. So we get to see how things have been going on several fronts in the days Danko has been there through a mind map. And oh shit. Oh Jesus Harold Christ. Oh no. Yes, this did turn personal, IPL. And we get back in time or forward to day 5. And that is when we get to the meat of the story. Also, hello Artemi. Oh, the fanfic writers are going to have a field day with this. And hello, who are you? And where is Sticky? And then we try the diagnostics game. Of course, the first 2 we can do easily, but alas, the third. When the third arrives, of course, things are not as easy, and of course, I am personally subjected to the torture that is going outside. We meet some boys and girls from the king, and yes, we do try our first infected district. And thus, I progressively begin to lose my will to live. But first of all, hello Clara, you little gremlin, I had missed you too. Now, this being said, I'm not sure I get how the infection works in this game, but yes, I did manage to die quite a few times already here. Still, something that felt interesting in this case was that, unlike the previous Pathologics, you do not have a sort of restricted open world. No, they give you a predetermined route and you must follow it, no matter if you find the sand pest on your way or not. Hey, so, editing Alys here. I have played the demo once again for reasons that I will state later, but I was slightly wrong about that, I think. And yes, I also did pay more attention to the plague mechanics, partially because it was better explained, partially because, yes, it was my second playthrough, and I was not having a panic attack after another. Now, back to the video. We arrived to an uninfected zone, in which I accidentally ended up shuffling off my own mortal coil, because I just do not pay attention and my intake of the multiple drugs that Danko has to not allow himself to get depressed or anxious was, spotty to say the least. Now, with that known, I went and did some investigation at a Gregory house. Being mostly a dumbass and missing a lot of shit until I didn't. This kiddo is kinda adorable though. But of course we had to return and undo the walk path to the theater, and there was nothing important in there, so let's go fast. Editing Alys here again. Lies, we found the changeling in there. Back to the video. We diagnose Philad, who proves to be a quarantine denier, so fuck you, Philad. I like to not being a racist asshat and taking care of the kid, but the quarantine needs to be taken seriously. And now, off to the still water and to Eva and... oh wait. Wait, is that Capella? Yes, this was not my favorite section of the game, if you guys can imagine. I am also an utter dumbass, because he did take me several times, despite the info, to see that you can load the gun and you can have like 4 shots, and of course there's like 5 thugs in there, and of course you have to run still. Yes, I am not happy to admit it, but I threw the Hippocratic Oath to the wind and the shuffle of the mortal coil of several of these guys, and hell yes, I am back to the bridge square! And of course, I am this close to ending everything and no medicines to help me, so bless the trash bins. Even if my mental health is still meh, I talk to them kids and they go very Lynchian, to be honest. And then I get lost inside the still water until I find Eva, my mental health getting shittier by the minute. Boy, this is very relatable, to be honest. I still have a conversation with her, and let's be honest, IPL, you should make it so Daniel has perfect mental health after talking with her. Wait, is this a callback to the tutorial mission in Classic? I love you, IPL. Of course, I am a dumbass once again, and end up very toasted. But Eva is here, and everything is nice, and now I have to go up and get to speak to... Oh, hi, Sticky! Hold on! The marble nest is actually canon? How does Sticky remember it? Friendly reminder that it does happen on day 10 and we are in day 5. And now I am pondering many things. So now we leave the quarantine, pressure as we have been to do so, and Danko ends up shuffling off his mortal coil, so rinse and repeat. Editing Alys here. Yes, I am very horrified in retrospective because while I could not see Sticky at that moment, let's say Dankowski was not alone. Back to the video. So, we do things better this once and... Oh, hi, Khan! So apparently we have someone against lifting the quarantine, and it's Khan who does not want the polyhedron evacuated, so we talk to him and we promise we will not touch it. So now we have to go out and... Holy cannoli! It is her! It is her! It is a Shabnak, and I love we're getting a sort of callback to the marble nest with Daniel being like, fuck you, to the representation of death. So we have to go back, and yes, this once I was also silly trying to get to the cathedral until I realized that I had to go back to the still water. We get another conversation with a tragedian. Fun fact, we do get some more. Just haven't mentioned them because my mission is to confound you all. And thus we travel in time to day 3. We talk once again with Eva. I love you, you sweet angel. And we are done, kind of, because Pathologic is never done with you. I am the living proof of that. This being said, of course, as of with everything else, there were things I loved and things I didn't like so much, to be honest. I did love returning to the town on Gorkon, but doing so from an actual, fresh perspective. Because much as I love all the other games that came before this one, A fresh perspective was something that Pathologic sorely needed. Because we already knew there were going to be changes in gameplay. Changes that would adjust more to the character of the Bachelor and his worldview, as had been promised in interviews that talked about how in these remakes that aren't fully remakes, the gameplay would adjust more to the perspective of each of the three main characters. As the design documents for Pathologic 2 said, The Bachelor is about vision and the brain. The Bachelor's overarching idea is comprehension and rational, analytical interpretation. The Bachelor sees. The Bachelor solace plus upward vector. So, what we have is a gameplay and a story more centered in mind-related stuff as opposed to the Haruspek's body-centered whole thing, so to say. After all, shall I remind you of the Urda? The body that contains the world? Mind you, IPL is not a AAA studio, so I've personally taught myself to keep my expectations low enough. If we got something that was similar to Pathologic 2, I was still going to be happy. Except for the abattoir. All my homies hate the abattoir. But then, the trailers and the new info came and I was like, they were offering us new stuff. Time travel, hunger and thirst and tiredness were out, but there were some new stage measure thingies. Dared I hope, reader, I hoped, and reader, my hopes have been met so far. And in ways that I did not expect. They have, also sadly, been met in the most god-awful of ways because what the hell, IPL? What is that optimization? Seriously, my first attempt at playing this game, the one you guys have seen indeed bits and pieces of in this video, but that is neither in the playthrough of this channel nor the one in my Spanish channel. Fucking hell that was! It just would freeze, and something that should have taken me at most 2 days ended up taking me a whole ass week. Like, what the fuck? I was doing this, mind you, from my Steam Deck, which runs games like the freaking Red Dead Redemption 2 and Elder Scrolls Online with no trouble. And of course, in true Pathologic fashion, I wanted to scream. I did throw myself multiple times against this problem without not knowing what to do. Until a very good friend at Discord did tell me to check textures. I got that from very high to just high, and then I found that it went very smoothly. Well, that might be on me, I guess. I played the game twice after that, especially because I wanted to try patch 3, those are the LPs in my channel. But guys, seriously, consider just not putting the textures at very high automatically. Pretty, please. Returning to the nicer stuff. One of the things I get now thanks to this demo is Dankowski himself, believe it or not. Poor man is stressed and poor man is depressed. I too would be like that if I had to deal with all the crap he deals with. But it is interesting, to say the least, that I have found myself considering Dankowski from a kinder perspective actually, now that I have returned to play him in previous iterations. It was not like I ever thought him to be the prickly prick that will bury a soul, which is a very prevalent view of Dankowski, at least in the English-speaking part of the fandom. Either that or he's an perfect person who does no wrong. Yes, I am not going to talk about how certain sectors of the fandom end up flattering the characters they claim to love so much. No, Sarah. What I am going to talk about, is that I did not subscribe to either of the aforementioned views. In fact, probably those views did alienate me a bit from the character of Daniel himself, and getting to appreciate him again has been a long process that I guess has culminated with this demo. So yes, this how could I say this? Wordpodge could be a good way to say it. Was to say that I get Dankowski now. There will probably be a video about him, or not. We will see. So now, on other stuff, what the hell was that Dangerous District IPL? I am not good at fighting, at the very least, not in Pathologic. other games are their own beasts and we will not lose time with them at the moment. I am also a person that should not, under any circumstances, be trusted with a firearm. I did not fucking understand that you could load the bullets to the gun until another friend pointed that out to me. Which is, this man is partially of my own making, but Jesus Harold Christ, why, of all the references you could make to the original, to go with Barley the Barber mission? Because yes, I said it before, but this definitely reminded me of the whole thing. Don't ask, but yes. But let's think about something nice. The characters. I love Platon and Serafima, and as a very good friend noted, they could definitely be the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to Dankowski's Hamlet. Also, they're so very married, don't add at me. Mr. Little is a very amusing fellow, and I do hope to see more of him in the full game, even if I missed Sticky at first. But we all know what actually happens, don't we? And it was nice to see the patients as developed characters, to be honest. It was also great to see all the returning characters. Sticky, plus reference to the marble nest, I am still not over that. Khan, Capella, rest in peace, Queen. And Eva, my baby, she's so sweet, and I love that we get some genuine development of the relationship she has with Dankowski. Good lord, it is going to hit so hard when what happens happens. But of course, I could not forget her. My queen, light of my life, Miss Shabnak. Seriously, I have such a soft spot for monstrous ladies and horror taking the form of something traumatic. Because yes, this is totally the her bride that Danko mentions seeing burnt alive and then forgets because it is too traumatic for him. And she's back with a vengeance. Talking about traumatic though, oh boy did I suffer when we got to the reviewing of how Danko supposedly did when talking with the inspector. But you guys already know that. Still, this being said, you guys are probably still wondering, did I like the thing or not? So, to sum up, I loved it. Of course, it is a Pathologic game, it's not going to be perfect, and the thing is, I do not want it to be. It would not be Pathologic if it were. In fact, considering everything that has happened in the last years, the fact that we have this is nothing short of a miracle. But the hype I have for this game is out of this world. I think that the thing I hope seeing this world through genuinely different eyes is something that has finally been managed by the studio, and oh boy, I cannot wait to suffer some more. Editing Alys here several months later. So June and July have pretty much passed by the time I am editing this video, and I need to say it, I don't think we're getting this game in 2025. Would be cool if we had it in September, but something tells me not going to happen. The demo needs some polishing, and Lord knows these things do take time. Still, I guess that if we're lucky, we shall get it next year. I will wait to suffer some more until then. Again, as usual, if you found this video and had no idea of my other stuff, hello again, this is Alys, and I am currently going through every possible iteration of Pathologic available to the public, among many other stuff. If you can and haven't already, please subscribe. And if you like this enough to spare some cash my way, there's a link to my Ko-fi in the description below. Next video will be a surprise! Until then, see ya!